Welcome to Fair Game. I'm Kristine Leahy. My guest today is a 5-time WNBA All-Star, League MVP, and WNBA champion. All that after being selected first overall by the LA Sparks in the 2012 draft. Nneka Ogwumike, it is so good to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. So right away, you have an obsession with donuts?
I do.
Okay.
I have a mild obsession with donuts.
Where did this begin? Because you're plant-based now, right?
I am plant-based
Okay.
now, but I mean, it kind of began in Texas. In Texas, they have a place called Southern Made. I'm not sure if you know, or even Shipley's Donuts.
Everything Texas food is good by me, so I'm going to trust you on that.
Yeah, but then it kind of evolved into just strictly Krispy Kreme. But I recently found out I have a dairy allergy, so now I go to Donut Friend.
Okay,
Yeah.
so vegan donuts, which I believe we're going to bring back at the end of the show, something with the vegan donuts.
I'm totally down.
Yeah, I hope you like it. I'm gonna have to try them out because I haven't had them yet.
Oh, sweet.
So, like back when you were a kid, you actually did gymnastics, right?
Yes.
But then you started getting really tall.
Yeah.
And decided this was probably not the sport for you?
Well, you know, I actually didn't decide. My gymnastics instructor called my mom after one practice and specifically told her, you know what? Your daughter is a hazard to herself.
No
and so,
way.
Yeah, and so my mom was like, okay, well, we have to figure out a way.
Because you were so tall?
Yeah, because I was so tall. Because I had reached the point where you could become competitive, and I was still into it, but.
How old were you?
I was like 9,
Okay.
10. Yeah, and like, you know, like the two uneven bars, my legs would sometimes almost hit the bars. Yeah, so they told me I couldn't keep doing gymnastics.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So was that sad for you, or you like immediately, okay, basketball is the way to go?
I mean, it wasn't so sad. I was disappointed because I'd done it for so long, but my mom's friend had recommended AAU basketball. And so she was like, hey, you know, the girls can stay in shape. They're tall. I mean, they're going to have an advantage by playing basketball. So I started doing that, and I kind of got into it.
Yeah. Height's a good thing in basketball. You're not
It's a
going to
good
damage
thing.
yourself because you're tall.
Right.
It wound up working out for you. You make it all the way. You play 4 years at Stanford.
Yes.
And this is one of the crazy things. So you guys made it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Every single year that you were there, but never actually won.
No.
Does that still kind of eat at you sometimes?
It used to a little bit before, but now that I'm a professional with a championship, it kind of sweetens it a little bit. Yeah.
And you're like, well, whatever. I still got it. That's very true.
Yeah.
And you were the first pick in the 2012 draft. You were there in Connecticut.
Yes.
What do you remember most about that day?
Well, it was my mom's birthday, which was
Okay.
kind of amazing. But more specifically, I just remember people congratulating me before the pick even happened. And I didn't want to jump the gun. I didn't really realize everything that is kind of, you know, coming your way once you graduate. Everything happens so fast. We finished the Final Four. Less than a week later, I'm in Connecticut. And then a week or two later, you're in LA practicing. But from that day, I just remember everyone congratulating me and kind of just applauding me for the seasons that I had at Stanford. So it was really nice.
So you knew where you were going.
To a degree,
Yeah.
you know, like it was very apparent that I was gonna get picked first, but I still waited until they said where I was going.
I mean, yeah, that helps a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
When did you realize, because when I watch the draft, no matter what it is, I cry every time because I just feel like that's the moment where like your life dream is being realized in that
Right.
moment. When was it for you that you're like, I know I'm gonna play in the WNBA?
Specifically, actually, I remember this moment. We played at Stanford my senior year, and I had a really amazing game. I think I had scored 40 points.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then at that point, I was like, you know what, Tara? I think we're gonna try to play in the WNBA. And she was like, duh.
Yeah.
So at that point, I kind of really took it more seriously as far as preparing myself to play in the league. I had already planned to graduate early, which was great. But then I realized, you know what, maybe I can do a little something.
Yeah, a whole lot of something.
Right.
You end up having a great career.
Right.
In 2016, this was a good year for you. Named WNBA MVP, you also won a championship, and you were the most efficient shooter in the history of basketball. That's crazy. And a lot of like the greats, they'll say that they were in the zone in that moment. Like, what was it about that season for you that was just clicking?
I was just having probably the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah?
Playing basketball. Yeah. You know, you do achieve some type of zone, but it's not a zone that you kind of enter. It's a zone that is kind of, it happens upon you. And that's what all of 2016 kind of felt like. Everything just kind of fell into place. I wasn't thinking a lot. I just showed up, played, and had fun.
Why do you think that was?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Was it the team, the chemistry, just like somewhere you were in your life?
Yeah, I would say probably somewhere I was in my life. I think I had kind of realized my worth in that year, and it kind of exuded in my play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now your sister Chene, who also plays basketball, she is going to now be on the Sparks with you?
Yes.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Are you guys close anyways, or is this like, okay, now we're working and we're sisters?
Well, I mean, we were close before, obviously, but we've been living bi-coastal since I graduated. And, you know, now it's kind of like, hey, we're both doing our own thing. And now that we've kind of developed our own careers, we get to share in that and kind of cheer each other on a couple floors away from each other in our apartment complex. Yeah.
Oh, she's going to live in the same complex as you?
Yeah, so they put us all in the same complex. So she's just like 2 stories down.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 other sisters who also play basketball in college. So when this happens, there's more than a couple families like this where like all 4 or all 5 kids all play basketball at a very high level. Yeah. What is your family's secret to raising amazing basketball players?
People ask my parents this all the time, and we don't really know.
Really?
I mean, my mom's always been very active, and my dad, he's huge into football, soccer, and they've just kind of encouraged us to play basketball. I mean, once I started doing it, everyone was like, hey, I kind of want to do it too. Then everyone followed, and we all ended up getting scholarships, which was major.
Awesome.
So education was like the biggest driver behind basketball, because we all got scholarships at amazing universities, and Chene and I were able to make a career out of it.
Kobe Bryant, let's be honest, I think he went to more Sparks games than Lakers games probably in the last year or 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Have you met him, talked to him?
So, you know, I haven't met him, but I had an encounter with him.
Okay.
So he was at one of our games, and he was walking in the back hallway. I think that game I wasn't playing, or for some reason I had to go in the back and do a warm up. And I knew he was coming, but I didn't realize that, you know, he would be kind of wandering around before our game. So I'm coming in from the court in Staples Center to go back to our locker room. And I like see him in the hallway. He kind of like comes around the corner, and it's the first time I've ever actually happened upon him like in person. And I just kind of felt like I was like all of a sudden in the military, like, hello, sir. Like, good evening. I was so formal.
Really formal?
Yeah, but like he knew who I was, but I do think he thought I was probably acting weird. I just had to be on like my best behavior in that moment, so.
Well, listen, I think a lot of people probably are a little thrown off when they just see Kobe like that.
You don't just see someone like that every day.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So you also did the ESPN body issue.
Yes.
Which requires you to be naked.
Yes.
Were you nervous, excited? How'd you feel when they asked you to do it?
I was thrilled because they asked me a second time. Initially, they had asked me when my sister came out of college into the league, and we declined. And so I was blessed enough to be asked again.
Declined why?
Because you're naked. So.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair.
And like, yeah. And we were still quite young. And so I felt a little bit more established in my career the second time around.
Yeah.
And I said, yes, you know, this is not something you say no to twice. And I was very excited, very confident. It is daunting at first.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone treats you like you have clothes on. So you're just kind of like,
well, that's good.
Yeah.
I would hope they don't treat you like...
No. But it was amazing. It was amazing. I had a great time.
I always think it's so cool because it really celebrates an athletic body, which you work so hard for. It's not sexual, really.
And that was what I was trying to kind of present to anyone that saw it as simply, oh, you're naked.
No.
You know, it's a piece of art that you've worked on your whole life. And, you know, as you said, it's celebrating all the years of hard work.
Yeah.
So that's how I approached it, and it was fun.
That's how it came out, too.
Thank you.
More with Nneka when we come back.